Shravanamangalam Srimadaatatam Bhuvi Grinanti Ye Bhurida Janaha. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. O Lord, your gospel is like nectar and bliss, showered upon the pain-stricken lives of suffering humanity. It dispels all sins and misdeeds, bringing spiritual welfare to life. Spiritual beauty, prosperity and grace flow through those who listen to your holy message. Truly generous are those who preach and share the nectar of your message with suffering humanity. Peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So we are back to reading of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. We are on page 125. We are reading that chapter when Sri Ramakrishna is in Dakshineshwar and with the advice, with the householder devotees, and his young disciples are all around. Last time, Sri Ramakrishna said that the only purpose you should have to devotion. To cultivate devotion is the main thing of spiritual life. That we started last time. Bhakti or love of God is the essence of all spiritual disciplines. That was the starting point. So, that's why Sri Ramakrishna is emphasizing love God. That is the foundation of our spiritual growth. Merely making big noise, talking big things, or just philosophizing thing you will not do. It is to be practiced, and spiritual practice is to be done. That's why one should make the mind pure. Make the mind pure. Without that, God's residence, you cannot experience the presence of Lord here in the heart. So that we are going to read today. Page 125. Ramakrishna says, there is no use in merely making a noise if you want to establish the deity in the shrine of your heart. There is no use in merely making a noise if you want to establish the deity in the shrine of your heart. If you want to realize God, first of all, purify the mind. In the pure heart, God takes his seat. One cannot bring the holy image into the temple if the droppings of bats are all around. The 11 bats are our 11 organs. 5 organs, 5 of action, 5 of perception, and the mind. So what is suggesting? That if we want to bring the deity in the temple, so you should clean. Normally when we do some spiritual festivity, what we do? We first of all clean the place, decorate the area, and put flowers and fruits and all these beautiful things all around, and then you bring the Lord, deity of the Lord. You know, when we do the Kali Puja happens, no? This temple is again cleaned, everything is clean, purified, and then we make an altar, and that altar is an auspicious altar. It is redecorated, and so everything is neat and decent because God is coming here. So that impression. So if you want to bring God in your heart, then you have to clean the heart. You cannot ask a honorable guest in a dirty room. Even if some people remain dirty, but when they invite some guest, what they do? They put all the things under the rug and make it so at least good. At least that much they do. So you, at least this whatever is inside the heart, clean. So to honor the guest. Why are you sitting? You can come in this way, we can see you all. 2, 3 people only. Sit in a way I can see the face. Sit in such a way, don't block other, at the same time sit. See? I can go, move. Move. So entire, so many pews are there. You cannot organize to sit in such a way that I can see you and you can see me. Ah, what a big deal. Okay. So what he says that it is to bring God in your heart, in the chamber of your heart. It should be a calm, serene, beautiful atmosphere. Invoke God there. It is not in the noisy market. People are howling, shouting, and you are inviting a very honorable, divine guest in your heart. So it's like the rattling of the mind. Let it be cool. Let the mind not run here and there. Focused mind, pure mind, concentrated mind. So have that. Otherwise, he says, there is no use in merely making a noise. They told the story of that gentleman who didn't clean the temple and not establish the deity in the temple, but blow a conch shell. Conch shell is an auspicious thing which is used in India for installing or inauguration at the time of inauguration of some noble festivity. So, meaning that people are called, come, here is some auspicious thing is going on. So not making a noise outside will do. It is to be clean, the heart should be clean and pure. That's why Ramakrishna says, if you want to establish the deity in the shrine of your heart, if you want to realize God, first of all, purify the mind. That is the fundamental question in spiritual life. Purify the mind. What is purification? Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Is it not Bible? Straight one word. Blessed are the pure in heart. Pure in heart, Sri Ramakrishna is saying, purify the mind. What is the difference? The same point. Purify the mind. Blessed are the pure in heart, but they shall see God. Confirm. They shall see God. There is no ambiguity about that. Here Ramakrishna said, if you want, purify the mind. What is purification of the mind? That's a big subject. Whole spiritual life stands on purification of the mind. We are divine, we are pure. All day and night we are hearing from Vedanta. In any scripture we are reading, they are saying that I am pure. So what is that? I am pure, but what is my condition? Why I am so reckless? Why am I so disoriented? Why I cannot focus my mind? Why I am not cheerful? Why am I not joyful? If it is my nature, I am that pure soul. I am that pure consciousness. Why we are morose? Why should we crying? Why should we weeping? Why? It's all because of the impure mind. Impure mind means pure mind is transparent mind. Transparent mind, transparent thing gives the vision, what is in and out. Transparent glass. You can see the thing, what is inside and outside. So transparent mind will be seeing God directly, I am seeing you. Clouded mind, impure mind. Clouded by what? By passion, by lust, by greed, by anger, by frustration, all these negativities that makes us so vulnerable to suffering and pain. So here Sri Ramakrishna says, purify the mind. And thus in the pure heart, when it is pure, see how parallel statement, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God, what Christ said. Here, in the pure heart, God takes his seat. He sits there, if the heart is pure. So whatever we do, our attempt should be to purify the heart, not making a big noise that I am a spiritual person, I go to church, I go and I make a big mark on my forehead and 10 Rudraksha beads on the lip and matted lock in the hair. Those are good. I am not criticizing them. They should be their additional beauty. But fundamental beauty is this. People forget that in fundamental thing, what is the secondary thing? Secondary thing is okay. You are putting some insignia, that remembering you are Lord Shiva's devotee. You are like this, you are Narayan, Lord Vishnu's devotee. I am wearing a Gerua cloth, reminding you are a monk, you have a high ideal. This is the ideal of thinking that you are divine, you are a devotee. So those are important to help us. But that is nothing, it is a showpiece. If the heart is not pure, and heart does not go for God, it does not feel any pangs of separation. How the days are, one day is gone, and what you have achieved. That is called purification. Pure mind, pure heart will run towards God. There is no other way to go anywhere. When a mind becomes purified, mind will run towards God, the absolute, the infinite, and that will be spontaneous. And that will be reflected in the life and character of the person. So it is emphasized that you should, in the pure heart, God takes his seat. One cannot bring the holy image in the temple if the droppings of the bats are all around. That means dirty. In a dirty place, we don't bring the deity. The 11 bats, what are the droppings? Ramakrishna said 11 bats. What are the 11 bats? 5 organs of action, 5 organs of perception, and mind. Here Ramakrishna says 5 perception, 5 action, and the mind. So 5, 10 plus mind. So these are the droppings. Mind engaged in worldly thought. Eyes see the objective world only, not seeing God. Ears hear only the rubbish of the world, what is going on every day, here and there, and gossip. Ear is very happy when he listens to some more gossip. That is the droppings of the bat. Seeing something ugly, hearing about day and night, talking all the time. Talking. What talking? All bogus, all nonsense. And if you talk about God, people will run away from you. Yeah, too much spiritual. No. So this is the dropping. That means abstain from distracting the mind with the senses added together to the outside world and disturbing your inner peace. So, first of all, invoke the deity. The spiritual life should be invoke the deity and then give lectures to your heart's content. We start first lecturing. We read 1 or 2 pages here and there, and now AI is helping us so much, just jotting down here and there, and just boom, bam, I get a great talk. Yeah, it can be fooled, you can befool the others, but the Lord cannot be befooled by that. So he says, talk later. Let your heart be full of spirit, and then mouth speaketh. When the heart is full, then let the mouth speak it. The heart should be filled with God intoxication, Ramakrishna. He is always talking about God, relentlessly, because that is the only thing he has, and it is coming out. In our heart, we have kept so many pigeonholes here and there, and so many ideas and thoughts, so many worldly things, and whenever a chance comes, everyone bubbles up. No God. So Sri Ramakrishna is pointing out that is the impure mind's action. So what you do? Invoke the deity. First say that God is in me. That is invoking. Our Guru has given us initiation. He has invoked God in us and established the Lord in the heart. And then give lectures to your... First establish him here. Think of him. Get charged with his power. And then you speak. First of all, dive deep. Plunge to the bottom and gather up the gems, no? There are so much joy and so much peace inside. So plunge into the depth of the heart and gather up the gems. There are some costly, valuable treasure inside. So, that song we sing again and again. Dubu 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 rup sagore e amar mon. Talatal patal khujle pabire prem ratna dhan. Dubu 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 rup sagore e amar mon. Dive deep, oh my mind, in the depth of my heart, no? Dub, 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 duble pabi, Hriday maje Vrindavan. Khoj le pabi, Hriday maje Vrindavan. Anyhow, so that is the dive deep. Ramakrishna always, if you read the whole Gospel, how many times he has repeated this thought? Dive deep. We cannot dive deep because a worldly thought immediately pull. When I want to dive deep here, I just trying to close my eyes and think, by that time thought will come. I'll have to go to the market, I'll have to go to shopping, I'll have to talk to this person, this is the phone call remaining to be done, and go on. And move around everywhere. But God is seated here and I am meditating. People are saying I am meditating. But the mind is going all around. So when he will dive deep, we say that there is no joy, we do meditation, I don't find any joy. Why not joy? God is all joy. Says Samadhai, there was one gentleman who came to Ramakrishna. He said, God is to be sweetened with some syrup. Bhagavan ke bhakti na. To make God attractive, we have to put some juice on it, syrup on it. That means there is no sense what is God. God itself is Satchidananda. They are attributed with three names. Sat, Chit, Ananda. It is Ananda, only bliss, joy, peace, absolute bliss. And that is, and thinking of Him, you will be dull. You will be morose. How can it be? That means you are thinking something else. So that is our weakness. That's why Ramakrishna says, dive deep. Let things come when you are trying to dive there. Don't look at those who give scuba diving, what they think. They think they will float in the, somebody is calling, he comes back. He dives deep and down to the bottom. And they fly and they enjoy the beauty of a deep sea. So this is the point, that first of all, dive deep, plunge to the bottom and gather up some gems. That means some vision, some experiences. Have some experiences. Gems mean infinite source of gem in the heart. All joy, all bliss, absolute joy, absolute happiness, absolute peace is in the heart. That's why people go to meditation and deep meditation and diving deep into different levels of samadhi and dives into the total merging into nirvikalpa state. So endless. But at least we cannot do that. Just at least dive deep that much. I will not look right and left. Just I will dive deep and get one or two gem. One or two experience, which undeniable, which the world will say, God is not there, but you will say, I have experienced. Say, have that first. Swami Brahmananda used to inspire all the brahmacharis and sadhus for us in this order, always saying, get something. The time is passing. Get it now. When you are young. When you become old like us, it will be back pain, neck pain, leg pain, cholesterol high, head reeling, I cannot hear. All these problems will come. Now you are in good condition. So this is the time to utilize this period. We also had all these things, we don't pay attention. Now being old, we are thinking, we could have done that, we could have done and we can. So that is the play of Maya going on all the time. Swamiji says, the younger people come with a new energy to fight in a world. And old people say, this is the reality, follow this, but no one hears. And they become old, they say, oh, I did a mistake, I could have used the time this way. And I could have got some gems, gems of experiences, undeniable experiences, which is fulfilling. And it can be testimony that God is there and I have seen Him. At least not the fullest extent, little bit of that, glimpses of that. The rest of the thing, God will take care. So here, very important inspiration of Sri Ramakrishna is plunge into deep in your heart. Plunge to the bottom. Go dive deep. Don't look right and left. That's why it's called renunciation. Don't look right and left is simple word. Technical renunciation. Renounce. Don't look right and left. Any attraction. No, not now. As someone is telling that I do meditate, but mind goes away. And when I sit for meditation, so many thoughts come. So you tell your mind, I say that keep a notebook with a pen on just to your right hand. And whenever thought comes, note down. And say, okay, I'll think of mind, I will not do it now, I'll do after my finishing this. Okay, another thought comes. No, not now, I'm noting down, I will deal with it afterwards, not now. This way, just renounce for the time, detach, and plunge deep and deep and deep. So this inspiration is very important. And then you may do other things. Just get that treasure first. Have something in your life to say, I know there is God. I have experienced God. I have, at least in my way, not that I'm talking about the highest experience, but at least I have some experience, tangible. So to plunge, only the thing is that you have to plunge. And how to plunge? And before that, pure. Make the mind pure. How the mind pure? Thinking of God, listening to things. Bhakti Shastra, Narada, Bhakti Sutra, they talk very elaborately. Shravana, Kirtana, Smarana, etc. That means listen to God, talk about God, give up the, what you call it, wasting your energy in meaningless talks, and get from association those who are worldly. You have to live in the world, but not to make friendship. It is said, English proverb is there, no? The man is known by the companion he keeps. What type of friendship you like? That indicates that what is your tendency. If you like a holy person, then you know your mind is becoming holy. One devotee came just today, they were talking about, I don't like to go to any party. I said, good. I don't find much interest in it. I used to go and I used to dress this, that, but nowadays I don't find any interest in that. And it's a botheration, and other people talk about that, but I don't feel so. So this is a good sign that your tendency is changing. Association is with the holiness, is you liking that and disliking the other thing. So that the practice should be done, how to purify the mind, and purification of the mind, there is another way, plunge into it. I shall dive deep. I won't think anything now. That strength of mind. Mind should be strong enough. Mind splits into two. One mind takes us around. Another mind is observer mind. He says, no, I understand. I wanted, but I could not succeed. So here, mind should be, the pure mind means the observer mind, you can say a witness consciousness associated with the mind, that we have to see where the mind goes, and a whole Raja Yoga deals with that, how to handle the mind, how to practice that concentration. Bhakti school talks about how to purify the mind. Jnana Yoga talks about day and night, think of the Atman. Asupte amrite kalang nayad vedanta chintaya. Day and night try to think, I am pure, I am stainless, I am divine, I am birthless, I am deathless, I am timeless, I am spaceless. Hammer, 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 day and night, so that the new thought current comes and the mind becomes so charged with this positivity that other thoughts will not get any access, will not get any space, that they try to catch the mind, but mind always says, I am this, I am this, I am this, I am this. So this makes an armor so that they cannot enter it, other thoughts cannot enter. That's the Vedantic way. Bhakti school will be, repeat the mantra, japa, and pray and sing and dance in the name of God. So whatever the means you take, purification of the mind. And what is the sign of purification of the mind? Distaste for the things of the world will come in the mind spontaneously. And listening of the things which I used to like more, now I like more what is inside. My inner heart will speak that I want this, I want this. But it is not that in one day it will happen. There will be a pull on this side, but how to come into this side, it is a constant effort that I want to make my mind pure, and purity will come with thinking of pure. Which is pure? God is pure. Love is pure. So, how to love God, how to get the eternal joy, a spark of that joy. Even one smile of Bhagavan Krishna, it says, that can remove your all darkness. So, this idea is to focus on plunge to the bottom and gather up gems. Then you may do other things, but nobody wants to plunge. People are without spiritual discipline and prayer, without renunciation and dispassion. They learn a few words and immediately start to deliver lectures. It is difficult to teach others. Only if a man gets a command from God, after realizing him, is he entitled to teach. That's the ideal teacher is that. That's why ideal teacher are one or two, always. Fake teachers are many. Fake teachers means, though have not experienced anything, and only talk. And they may have big followers also. If you have some worldly intelligence, you can charge for your lecture $100, $1,000. $100 is too cheap. 1,000, that is also cheap. If you charge 5,000, then it will be more valuable. As much price, so much valuable. So, and people will run to that because the instant spirituality. There was one lady used to come here long back, I forget, about maybe 20 years now, 25 years maybe. So she used to come and attend to the classes, and suddenly she one day said, I will not be coming for some period. I will, what? About a month or something. Why? She said, I am going to some retreat, and I will go into some retreat for so many days, and if I go, I will, what is that retreat, how much? So it is 10,000 or some dollars, in addition to her plane fare, her hotel charge, all are hers, and only 10,000 is the charge for that, getting that. What will they will give us? They said that guarantee and nirvikalpa samadhi. I will, wow. $10,000 nirvikalpa samadhi. Good price. Nirvikalpa samadhi is so big, $10,000 is nothing for that.
Did you get it?
That's the point. That's the point. So she left. I said, are you really interested? But yes, I booked it. Okay. So she went there. And another friend also used to come with her. And then after that, 1 month is passed, 2 months are going away. So I said, I inquired what happened to her. She used to come. She is now frustrated. I'm like, frustrated? Spending $10,000 for Nirvikalpa Samadhi fees, and also spending other so much of expenses, and really she is seeking for Nirvikalpa. It is true. She is actually wanting something, but not understanding what is. And then I came to know that she was frustrated because they said she will have Nirvikalpa Samadhi, But at the end, when she didn't get anything, then she asked the teacher, and teacher said only, you are not fit for that yet. So only to hear this, you are not fit for it yet, $10,000 fees. So that's too much expense. So that's the point. This is called the spirituality is only for the pure soul to speak. That's why we read the Swami Vivekananda. We are reading the letters of Swami Vivekananda. 4 volumes it has come out. It's wonderful. Where we find that he's saying, I am not speaking. It is Sri Ramakrishna telling me. And see, you read this letter, you will get the fire of it, the power behind. And that's why if you read Vivekananda, if you read Gospel, you get so much inspiration. He's speaking from what he has experienced. So, that means, Holy Mother used to say, Ramakrishna was a man who have seen God. Ramakrishna ছিলেন দেখা পুরুষ. দেখা মানে he has seen. As I see you, he has seen God. So their words become powerful. Then the question may also come, and we are where? So what is our position? We are also giving class. No, we are not giving class to say that I have experienced it. Did you hear any time? I say, I have experienced this and I have that vision, this light came and blue light and green light and this and fire and high and this. We have no something, we don't say. What we say, what Ramakrishna said, we try to understand that. That is the thing we do. It is not giving talk, giving lecture, but it is a understanding of the meaning of these sayings of Sri Ramakrishna in its depth. As we can more and more do that, our mind becomes pure. It is for my spiritual development, for my purification. So it is different rather than what we are to. Some young generation people nowadays we see, they read so many books so quickly. Baba. And 2 or 3 came to me, many came. I am going to write a book, and this thought will be, as if his book will publish. In the world, 1 book is coming out now, no? Every day, how many books come out? How many books are written by how many people? Even the bestsellers. Huh? So how many people read and how much impact it creates? So only the realized soul, Christ, Buddhas, Ramas, Krishnas, Ramakrishna's Chaitanya, their words are eternal. You see, Christ said these words, Swami Vivekananda said, the whole world, all the spiritual text is gone, only one word remains, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Then world will be saved. See, the world will be saved if that only word remains, blessed are the pure in heart. So that purification, people will get inspiration to purify and work on that. So it says, it is making us aware that first realize and then talk. It is true, if I do not know, Upanishad also suggested that without knowing, I do not know the direction. In early days, last 5, even 10, 12 years before when we used to drive our cars, what did you do? You take a map and then read the map, exit, which exit, what is coming on, how far. You go into a place where there is not many people to see, and you ask to the gas station, and gas station tells you, you go this way. We went there after 10 miles. I asked another gas station, and they say, you are wrong, go this way. So teacher does not know what he is talking, and the student gets misguided. So that's why Upanishad says that Ascharya Bhakta, Kushalasya Labdha, Ascharya Gyata, Kushalanusishta. The learning becomes successful if the teacher becomes very special, and the student also very receiving qualified student, then the effect becomes perfect. So we are as students, we should have to learn in depth, plunge, meditate and read. Read and meditate. Read Only not reading, but meditation and prayer and plunging into the heart, feel the presence and then study, so that it becomes a lively interaction. So that is the way of purification, not mere talk, lecture. Because why he's talking about lecturing, in that time of the context of India, when Ramakrishna was born in whole Calcutta, the capital of India, so many philosophies were now, new thought waves have come, and so many ideas about spirituality has been springing. And people who are talking, because they are very intellectual people, and they have studied some books and quoting this book, that book, and they are becoming very popular. But they are forgetting the goal of spiritual life is God realization, not emphasizing on that side. That's why Vivekananda, when he first came and his inner arch is such, he is knocking at the door of everyone and asking, have you seen God? Have you seen God? Have you seen God? Sir, can you show me God? So no one could give the answer. Only when Sri Ramakrishna, he came to Ramakrishna, he didn't read anything. The others are well-read people. But when you directly put the question, have you realized God? Then they say, oh, not saying the not, but you are very bright boy, your eyes are very nice, you are intelligent, you will get it. You do practice. Bas, over. But he is the only man who said, yes, I have seen God and I can show you God. And that transformed the whole, that's a changing condition of the whole world thought. That is the point, very small incident, but in the world history, that is a turning point. Realizing God, not talking, not reading, not studying, not lecturing. New philosophy, new idea. 1,000 ideas there. Swami Vivekananda says, ideas are not bad. Sect, hundreds of millions of sects, no problem. Swami Vivekananda said that if I would be happy if everyone has his own sect. I have my philosophy. Yes, but the sect is not problem. Sectarianism is the problem. My way is the only way and others are wrong. So, to have guidance from someone, the teacher should be, that's why Upanishad says, Satriyo, Abrijino, Akamahata. Very great responsibility for the teachers. A teacher should be Satriyo. He should have listened to the scriptures, Vedas, Upanishads, Gita. What he speaks, it should not be contradictory to the scripture. What are the scriptures? Scriptures are the revelation in the heart of the sages, those who meditated and contemplated on God. They had inner mystic vision, they experienced something. And they're expressing that experience in language which is expressed in the Upanishads, Gita, Bhagavad, etc. So, when you are talking something, your statements should not contradict what they have said. They are the authority, authenticated. Any scientific discovery or new invention is coming out. It should not contradict the other. It may go further, but it should not contradict the fundamental principle of that. So spiritual science is like that. It should not contradict the experiences of the earlier saints and sages and rishis. So that Satriyo, Abrijino, and that mind will be pure. Not so much lust, greed, this, that, temptation. That is not his. He cannot be a teacher. Abrijino, Akamahata. He is not driven by the impulses of his desires. So these are the fundamental quality of becoming a spiritual. That's why Ramakrishna says that they to have plunge into it and have some experience and then teach. Ordinary people, they learn a few words and immediately start to deliver lectures. It is difficult to teach others. Only if a man gets a command from God, after realizing him, is he entitled to teach. Swami Vivekananda did not want it to get this speaking business. He was always going to do and deeper samadhi. Even in this country, he had in Thousand Island Park, in what is called Camp Percy, and then these two, but other places also. He's always trying to plunge into samadhi, but again he has to do something, as if circumstantial situation is forcing him to withdraw himself from that samadhi state. So that's why his words are so powerful. That words, if we think about some messages, it gives so much energy. No, so his command is that, his suggestion is that first realize God and then do whatever is necessary. That means focus your attention. This life is short and we should not spare this life. Hindus believe that we will get life again, no problem. But what condition, where will we be born, those and that, or all iffy situations are there. Getting this life, getting this golden opportunity, getting to hear this pure truth of spirituality, if we can utilize the time and our energy in the proper way, it is Mahato, Mahati Vinasti, Atho Ched Avedit, Atho Sattamasti. Atho Ched, if you know, if you realize this truth, Atho Sattamasti. Well, that's a great truth. You have achieved the purpose of life. Nachet Avedit, if you don't know this, Mahati Vinasti, you have spoiled this life, this valuable, treasurable treasure. It is all golden opportunity. You have missed it. Oh. That song is there. Emun manov janam roilo patit abad kolle pholto sona mon re krishika janona. You don't know how to till the ground or to cultivate. Emun manav janam, this field, this body, this mind, these resources are so beautifully given, God gifted to you. If you have plowed it properly and put some seeds and given water and fertilizer, you have got bomb crops, spirituality, infinite joy you could have attained. But you missed it. That's why এমন মানব জনম রইল পতিত আবাদ করলে ফলতো সোনা মন রে কৃষিকাজ জানো না. Anyhow, she says that addo kimba satabdante. Now, today, you do not know tomorrow morning you are here or not. Addo means today. Satabdante, or maybe you may die after 100 years. Baje apto hobe jano na. You don't know when it will be discarded, when this body will go, when death will come. Therefore, what you do? You give a fence around your whole mind and body and senses and everything in the name of Mother Kali. Kali name daure beda, fasole tasrup hobe na. If you can protect it with the fence of Mother's name, Divine Mother's name, japa, 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 you will be protected, and then life will be peaceful. So this is the call. These are the simple songs, but so profound. And Ramakrishna used to sing now and then all this in his spiritual mood to inspire the devotees, the purpose of life, goal of life to attain. Thus conversing, the master came to the west end of the veranda. M stood by his side. Sri Ramakrishna has repeated again and again that God cannot be realized without discrimination and renunciation. This made M extremely worried. He had married and was then a young man of 28. educated in college in the Western way. Having a sense of duty, he asked himself, do discrimination and dispassion mean giving up lust and gold? He was really at a loss to know what to do. He is now thinking, already I have married, now what can I do? I have my wife, I have my children, I have responsibility. So what will happen to me? How can I plunge? How can I renounce? It's a big question. If you say, renounce everything, yes, renounce, you become a monk. But what about your duties and responsibilities? So he was really puzzled, and he took seriously, Ramakrishna said, so he took it seriously, and he was thinking, oh my God, what will happen to me? What the way I can get out of it? To the master, what should one do if one's wife says, you are neglecting me, I shall commit suicide? That's a legitimate thing. And wife has a demand, I am married, and you have to take my responsibility. Now you cannot ignore and go to be a monk. Huh? What is this? Then Ramakrishna is strong here because he's talking to M, ideal student. He says, Master, in a serious tone, give up such a wife if she proves an obstacle in the way of spiritual life. Yes, here is the point. It's an obstacle to the spiritual life. No. You can live with her, with a divine relationship, or whatever you would comply your duties, try to bring some philosophy to serve God in her. So you can do everything you can do. That is also renunciation. Renunciation does not mean deserting something externally. But renunciation means detachment. Love should be detached love. How can it be? It's a different subject. We can discuss that. But it is not, renunciation does not mean just give up. All the homeless people are spiritual people. Highly. Of course, there are many spiritual people, but they are not realized people. We are thinking, you renounce everything, then you become a God in touch. Not that. It is the internal desire. So, how you do your duties and stay in life, there's a way to do that. But if someone becomes too much obstacle in your spiritual life, you will have to handle it in such a way that you don't get involved into it. But you have your responsibility. You will have to comply with that. Let her commit suicide or anything else she likes. The wife that hampers her husband's spiritual life is an ungodly wife. Similarly, a husband, don't take it only one side. This was said because there are men folks. All the men folks are around. So he's talking to the men folks. If it happens like that, what you the man will do, your wife, okay? But if any lady goes and she says that my husband is an obstacle in my spiritual life, shun him. So the same teaching, you can find that it is Ramakrishna gave such teaching to the lady devotees. Immersed in deep thought, and now is the question, if you shun him, if you say so, it's a very strong step, no? How can I shun my wife? Shun him. So, M becoming deep thought. Immersed in deep thought, M stood leaning against the wall. Narendra and the other devotees remained silent in a few minutes. The master exchanged several words with them. Then suddenly, going to M, he whispered in his ear, but, here is the sea. What a beautiful Ramakrishna. He said, shun your wife if she is obstacle in your spiritual life. Huh? And then, talking other things, now he understood the mental condition of M. So he came close to M and whispering, but if a man has a sincere love for God, then all come under his control. The king will come under control. The wicked person and his wife or his husband. You don't have to worry that much. You be sincere. God will make the way out. See the point? That is Ramakrishna. he is not giving a impractical suggestion. If you really love God, you pray to God. You tell Him, by His grace, things will happen. He will make everything easy. He will change his wife's mind. That is the way the wife's mind also be in the same tune for God, God-centered life. Or husband is obstacle, husband's mind will gradually change into a spiritual mood. Your life will inspire your partner. So it is not heartless giving up and running away. That is brutal. But rather he emphasized, you love God, so go to God and pray, oh Lord, please remove my obstacles. If the king is against you, he will come into your favor or understand something, or you will be released. So he says, the king, a wicked person is obstacle in your spiritual life. That wicked person also, God will make a way to free you from that grasp of that. And sincere love of God on the husband's part may eventually help the wife to lead a spiritual life. See, if one is sincerely leading, that's why called, in Indian marriage system it is called Saho Dharmini, husband and wife called. Saha means together, dharma, in the path of righteousness. Both will help each other. So one may be not in the same at par. Someone may be spiritually little advanced, someone may be little less. This journey will be that each one will be helping each other, and then journey will be more towards God. So who has less, he will take help of the husband or the wife. Wife will take husband. So it is, both of them will be making a journey to the truth. So, sincere love for God on husband's part may eventually help the wife to lead a spiritual life. If the husband is good, then through the grace of God, the wife may also follow his example. Similarly, just put, if the wife or the husband will be changed a person, spiritual person, automatically. Many we see, it's a realistic experience of ours. We see that so many people come in the mission or in the Vedanta societies. One side, I give you an example, and that may be the end of today. If I find time, I will go. He says that one lady used to come, her husband, her name was Joya. And Swami Prabhupada gave her the name, the Joya. So she used to come here and listen to talks and lectures, very interested. But husband didn't like it. so he didn't say, just object to violently, no, you cannot go, not that. But he don't entertain at all. And she got some books of Swami Vivekananda from here. And in her desk, she used to read herself. She was very inspired. And after a few days, she made a plan. So, book reading and closing, so that was one thing. He will every day read the book and keep it open like that. And that attracted the attention of her husband. What book is this? What is the material there? So occasionally he'll sneak in and go through the book. And he gradually, he thought, it's a good thing. And it took 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. But ultimately, he got totally transformed. And he came and got more mantra from Swami Prabhupada. And then they have a good, happy spiritual journey together. So, that is the way. If you are sincere, your partner will also come in to pray to God. We believe that God can do everything. And you are honestly seeking God. So this is Sri Ramakrishna's suggestion that don't worry. You are thinking, so much obstacle. Obstacle can be removed by God. It's nothing for him. And you practice, you try for your life, you will get it. But you should be sincere. You should cry. You should pray to God. Oh Lord, make my path easy. Give me some easy guidance, or create my environment so that my mind can easily grasp this higher truth. So that sincere prayer with the tearful eyes should be very, very helpful. This had a most soothing effect on M's worried mind. All the while he had been thinking, let her commit suicide, what can I do? M, the master, this world is a terrible place indeed. Master, to the devotees. That is the reason Sri Chaitanya said to this companion Nityananda, listen brother, there is no hope of salvation for the worldly minded. Worldly minded does not mean all the people in the world is worldly minded. Those who love God, they are in the world but not worldly minded. Their mind is in God. They are trying to put their mind in God. They are not worldly minded. That's why Ramakrishna says that let her, they listen. There is no Chaitanya said to Nityananda, listen brother, there is no hope. Why no hope? Because they are all day and night thinking of the mundane things of temporal nature, not that which is eternal nature. On another occasion, the master had said to him privately, yes, there is no hope for the worldly man if he is not sincerely devoted to God. But he has nothing to fear if he remains in the world after realizing God. Nor need a man have any fear, whatever the world, if he attains sincere devotion by practicing spiritual discipline now and then in solitude. Chaitanya had several householders amongst his devotees, but they were householders in the name only, for they lived unattached to the world. So he says that there are stories in the life of the Vaishnava devotees, Sri Chaitanya's devotees, those who read a very high level, Ramakrishna's devotees, the householder devotees' life you read. So what a spiritual flight they were raised, being in the household life, and loving God more and more and more. It was noon by that this discussion went on, and it was almost noontime. The worship was over in the temple. A food offering had been made in the temple. The doors of the temple were shut. Sri Ramakrishna sat down for his meal, and Narendra and the others devotees partook of the food offering from the temple. So he gives that example. After we get a good picture how the Sri Ramakrishna spent the whole day and night in Dakshineshwar, and this morning, this is how he's day and night talking, and now noontime, mother was offered the prasad, and when a prasad was offered, so he started having his meal in his room, and other devotees also started having prasad. That is the end of the reading of that day. So what we ultimately conclude from this today's reading, inspiration, that we need to do spiritual practice again. The same word coming again, to spiritual practice, and any obstacle come in life, in spiritual life, even in mundane life, our day-to-day life, some obstacle comes, some problems come, to go back to God, to go to inner chamber of the heart and try to plunge there, find solution here. People cannot give any suggestion. They're too external. How they will suggest? They don't know their own problem. They don't know to solve their own problem. How they will give advice to others? That's why Swami Vivekananda always says, beautiful word, if any problem comes, any obstacle comes, from the highest spiritual point up to our day-to-day needs even, just go back to your heart and pray, and then what your heart speaks, listen to that. If there is a conflict between head and heart, listen to the heart. But you should use your head also. eh? Headless heart or heartless head. Both are problematic. So mostly reason, it should be reason-based, and try the best reasonable situation, what pros and cons, this and that, all these things, and then see what your mind bends which direction with prayer. Pray, 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 pray. And there's direction. And that direction you follow, and you cannot do anything more. Maybe that may not solve the problem you expected. I prayed and this will happen like according to my wish. It will not happen to you according to your wish. Don't bother about that. You did your best and give it to God. And that is the way of purification of the mind. We are facing the challenge, problem, solving the problem, spiritual solution. Going back to the heart, praying to Him with earnestness, and then asking for guidance, and then thinking whatever inner heart speaks, take that action. And thank God. Good, good, bad, bad, thank God. So this is the spiritualizing or purification of the mind, which was the topic. Ramakrishna emphasized pure mind, pure mind. How the pure mind will come? Unless there is an obstacle. We think obstacle is, oh my God, I have so much. Obstacle is a sign of your development. If there is no obstacle, there is no growth. Those days there is no obstacle, happy feasting date and fast. And which day is more, you remember God, fasting days or feasting days? Feasting days, you remember God? No. We go, what is ice cream, what is this cake, and what is this is good, this is bad, and this much is hard, and we talk about all these things and happy with that. And feasting days, today no food, and this is the bad food, and this, okay, so we get detachment. And also odd situations forces us to think of God. When something happens which I don't want it in my life, and that is the most important point when we think of God. Oh Lord, please help me. No, when we say, oh Lord, help me, why am I in trouble? That day, heyday, we don't need God. We can handle ourselves. But when problem day comes, then you say, oh Lord, why this? That's why Holy Mother have a very beautiful statement, dukkho bhagavane dayar dan. It's a very strong word. Dukkha means suffering, is the grace of God, gift of grace. Dukkha, I mean, I'm suffering, that is God's grace. What type of grace? Because that is the moment when we know who loves me. My friend, oh, he is my friend. When you fall in a ditch, or you have no money, the friend will turn your face and go back. Never ask you, hello, how are you? What can I do for you? No, rather how can I avoid and run away? So who is your friend then? You understand God is your friend. Everyone will depart. That is the point. That's why Holy Mother said, dukkha, the suffering, it can also be looked upon as an opportunity to be close to God. And who is my own? Everyone loves so long in their condition. No? I love you because if you do what I say and move according to my wish and yes, yes, ma'am. If you don't do, I'll be less interested in you. And then if it is too much, I'll talk bad about you. And then more, we can be rude and other things. And that's called our love. So our material love is like that. God is our eternal friend. He never leaves us. So it gives an opportunity. Not that one should suffer, that is not the point. But suffering can be looked upon as a gateway to higher experience of God's personal presence and feel the presence. So one question has come. Is wearing Rudraksha help in spiritual growth? Yeah, you can read some books, Google search, and what Rudraksha beads, its effects, etc. You can get a good response. And Rudraksha, yes, I have heard that there are some are for health reasons people use, but I am not expert in that, I cannot say much. I think it is rosary is for japa, to make more calm. But now your machines have come. Instead of rosary, you can have some counter, and they can press every time, and it will not mistake. So that is a modern rosary. Modern rosary. Okay? Now another question. Transparent mind, when that is attached, does the devotee see God in every being, or every being in God, or every being is nothing but God? E in all and all in E. Are these experiences same? When the mind becomes transparent means exactly if it is extremely pure, that means that Ramakrishna said that extremely pure mind is equal to pure buddhi, pure Atman. When mind becomes extremely pure, it is not mind anymore. Definition of mind we have to understand. What is the definition of mind? Definition of mind is that mind is a vacillating thing. Shall I go, not go? Shall I eat, not eat? Shall I drive in the first lane or second lane? Shall I go this direction or shall I go that direction? This is a vacillating mind. So mind, when it gives us that vacillating concept of dwindling this way, that way, and it goes to straight to God and see God, naturally that is the pure Atman, state of pure Atman. That means one becomes aware of the Atman, and Atman is Brahman, as we hear. So he will see God everywhere, she will feel God everywhere, if the transparent mind. And that is the mind, pure mind means it is the just end of sadhana. Sadhana is ended. Achievement of the result of is purity of mind. And as Christ said, blessed are the pure in heart, they shall see God. And then they see God. With that purity, transparency when it comes in the mind, they see God everywhere. Ramakrishna used to say, Ma, mother. No? Christ devotees, they used to see Christ everywhere. No? So, yes, the whole world actually get transformed for them. That is a state. How does sattva stop in God realization? How does sattva stop in God realization? Sattva is if you say sattva quality is a good quality, but there is also, it is a, Ramakrishna's example is a good dacoit, burglar in the forest. Tamas catches us and takes away all our noble qualities, money, purse, gold, jewel, which is in our heart. Tamagun takes away. Rajagun binds us in world and worldliness. And Sattvagun takes us out of this forest of samsara up to this far. But still he is a dacoit. He lives in the forest of worldliness. He cannot go beyond. So, that beyond when it is this, when the sattva stops, that means sattva cannot go further, ends sattva, then comes the God realization. But super sattik, you can say beyond sattva. Tamas, Rajas, Sattva, these are the three called Maya. Maya is equal to Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. So we overcome Tamas by Rajas, Rajas by Sattva. But you have to give up Sattva also. Triguna atita. Aye. Triguna atita Guneshwara Sam Radha Madhava Radha Sam Trigunatito, three guna atita, beyond the three guna, tamas, rajas, sattva. And that is that Sama. So that is Radha, Madhava, Radhas. That is the embodied form. Beyond sattva takes a human form as Radha Krishna. So that is the state beyond the three states stops. Actually God realization comes then. Thank you all. Good night. Om Shanti, 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 Harihi Om, Tat Sat, Sri Ramakrishna Panamastu. Tomorrow is Thursday. Oh, tomorrow Gita. Oh, Gita, no, Vidya Prana will be giving the class on?
The Gita and the Guna guide.
Okay, the Gita and the Guna guide. Okay, okay. So please come tomorrow. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.